Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care Center, Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair, United Plumbing, and Anchor Point Roofing and Siding. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hi there. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're with us. And we're going to start you out on this Wednesday with a little news from around the Ozarks.
All right. The first story, very disturbing. A Springfield mom is facing a child endangerment charge after authorities say that she waited more than 4 hours to call 911 for her critically injured 6-week-old son. Court documents say Star Vesey found the baby lethargic, limp, not eating, and having trouble moving an arm with a bruise on his forehead. The baby's father, Kenai Kelly, is charged with child abuse or neglect and told investigators that he shook the infant and dropped the baby face down on the hardwood floor, among other terrible injuries. Investigators say that baby has a lot of non-accidental physical trauma right now. The baby was flown to St. Louis Children's for care.
Man, awful. A flock license plate reader that's been in the news a lot here lately and will continue to be, no doubt. This one was in Ash Grove, and it's been damaged in what police are calling an act of vandalism. Officers found the camera had been knocked over, its wires cut, and police say it appears that a vehicle knocked the camera down. It was used to push the camera over. Damage is going to cost the city several $1,000s. The camera has since been removed and secured while the city decides whether to repair or replace it. Of course, we've been talking about flock cameras a lot. People are upset across the country with how flock cameras collect data, how long they store that data about people, and who gets access to that data. So I think the flock story is going to continue for a while.
Sounds
kind of like data centers, right?
Yes.
Just really in the news right now. Springfield property owners asking a Greene County judge to review the city's process for dealing with alleged nuisance and code violations. RCT Realty, which owns property on North Grant in question, claims the city's administrative hearing and notices do not meet state requirements and that the city lacked sufficient evidence for its abatement order. The city had determined the property had conditions including a damaged roof, a deteriorated door, unmaintained siding, and holes in an exterior wall. The owner challenges how the city obtained some of its evidence and says repair work had already begun on that particular property.
Okay. Greene County has a new interim sheriff. Jim Arnott, of course, as we told you, stepped down to become U.S. Marshal for the Western District of Missouri. Arnott's resignation took effect yesterday after the U.S. Senate confirmed his appointment earlier this month. So now Jason Johnson, a captain who has worked for the sheriff's office since 1998, was sworn in as interim sheriff. He will serve through the end of this year. Johnson is the only candidate right now for the sheriff's unexpired term, which voters will decide on in November at the election. He says the department will continue honoring its ICE detention contract while also focusing on staff training, equipment, and service to county residents. Ozark is moving closer to building a new police headquarters that would be more than 3 times the size of the department's facility currently. The Board of Aldermen is considering an agreement with Kansas City-based Hoffer Welker to design a roughly 21,000 square foot building. That project is estimated to cost about $18.6 to $19.1 million. The funding is expected to include bonds, general fund money, and capital improvement sales tax revenue. The police chief there, Justin Arnold, says the current 6,000 square foot facility creates some pretty serious workspace and privacy problems. Construction could begin in the second half of next year, 2027, with completion expected in late 28.
Okay. Drivers in Forsyth can expect most of US 160 to remain open during a future bridge replacement project over Swan Creek. MoDOT had a meeting about that last night to talk about it. They plan to build a new bridge just north of the existing one, making it about 8 feet wider and about 21 feet longer. That current bridge will be removed after the new one is finished, because that makes sense. Construction expected to start in the spring of next year and is expected to cost about $11.2 million. Got to have those working bridges. I prefer a working bridge.
Me too. To be honest with you, I saw the aftermath of a bridge that fell in it was in between like Gore and Webbers Falls, Oklahoma, two tiny little farm towns, but on a highway, a bridge fell in.
I remember that. It was an interstate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I believe it was an interstate.
I was young, but I remember it because I saw like the aftermath of it, because it was at the time where my dad lived. And yeah, like people like drove off.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that happened was it Minnesota years ago that we had video of?
In more recent years, yes.
Yeah. Unbelievable. That's a worst nightmare, isn't it? Falling into the water.
I mean, I suppose, like, sometimes people have like unfounded fears, but this one's not unfounded.
I remember my brother came to visit us years ago, and we lived in Ozark at the time, and we took him over not the Finley River Bridge, what's the other bridge, the old one?
The Riverside Bridge.
Yeah. We took him over the Riverside Bridge, and he said, "What are you doing? Get me off of here. You've got your children on this bridge. It's unsafe." I said, "Yeah, what are you talking about? It's fine." And then the next week, he saw in the news in St. Louis that they shut down the Riverside Bridge because it's unsafe. So he called me and said, "I knew it was unsafe."
Yeah.
But hey,
it's nice now. That bridge is super nice now.
Yeah. All right. Springfield Transportation Company is expanding its access to national freight services by joining something called the Landstar Network. Show Me Global Logistics is now operating as an independent Landstar agency. The company says the arrangement will provide customers with more shipping capacity, technology, tracking, and back office support while allowing its local team to remain in place in Springfield. Show Me Global Logistics has been in business for about 11 years now, and the company says the partnership will combine Landstar's national reach with the personalized service local customers expect.
Okay. Nixa High School has made a major jump in the latest U.S. News and World Report rankings of nation's best high schools. Very exciting. Nixa is ranked 9th in Missouri this year, up from 20th last year, and it ranks 1,082nd nationally among 18,000 ranked schools. So that's actually very good. Superintendent Gurl Loden credits staff, students, and the community for the improvement, including efforts to expand course options and support student success. Willard, Ozark, Webb City, and Marionville also made Missouri's top 70. So that's impressive. The rankings consider factors like state test performance, graduation rates, and college readiness.
That's impressive. Nixa always makes those lists. It apparently does very, very well. So congratulations to Nixa.
Go Nixa, go. 3 Southwest Missouri teachers are among 16 semifinalists for the 27 Missouri Teacher of the Year. The local finalists are Nicole Crocker, an agricultural education teacher at Branson High School, Vondra Miller, a reading teacher at Neosho South Elementary, and Kristen McGoley, a first grade teacher at Ozark South Elementary. The state will select its Teacher of the Year this fall, with the winner honored at a banquet in October. The winner will also represent Missouri in the National Teacher of the Year program. State education officials say that program is recognizing teachers who have a significant impact on their students and communities.
Congratulations to all of them. Work is underway to transform the former Gordman store. Have you driven by the old Gordman store by the Walmart on South Campbell? Yeah.
Literally yesterday.
It's gone. Were you surprised?
I didn't even notice. That's ridiculous.
Gordman's
What
is
I
gone.
what I did notice was the chain link fence because I was like, note to self, don't hit chain link fence. But I didn't even look at the building.
Yeah, well, it ain't there.
Hmm.
So work is underway to transform that former Gordman store there on South Campbell into a Crunch Fitness Center. The old Gordman's building is gone. It's been demolished. Crews are now working on moving earth, grading, renovations for a part of the site to get it ready for the new building. Crunch Fitness plans to use the remaining structure for a large fitness facility, additional construction taking place on the property as well. Gordman's left the location in 2019, and it's just been an eyesore since then, honestly, just sitting vacant. Crunch is not announcing at this point an opening date, but it'll come soon. So pay attention. I've never been to or heard of Crunch Fitness.
Well, then you must not have had a conversation with our 13-year-old.
Oh, is that right? He's into Crunch Fitness now.
Yeah. They must advertise somewhere, but what's weird is like
Probably.
he does not have a cell phone. He's not on social media. I don't know where he sees it,
I
but
could guess.
he's where?
He's watching weightlifting YouTube videos now, so I'm sure that's where it is. Because he's into the whole lifting thing.
Yeah.
So they targeted him, and it's working. Now we got to get
what it worked because
a membership with Crunch Fitness.
Is there a Crunch Fitness in Springfield? I'm like, we have a gym. It's great. It's the YMCA, the local YMCA. Who doesn't support the local YMCA? And he was like, well, I really want to try Crunch. I was like, I've never even heard of that here. And then he Googled it. But what's funny is he doesn't think it's here. And unless he watches this very broadcast, I don't know if he knows that one is coming.
Well, he will soon because he watches YouTube.
All right. New details emerging about the Kansas City Royals' proposed new ballpark at Crown Center, including how the project would be paid for. And what the team would provide to the community. The stadium is expected to cost about $1.9 billion, with 60% of that coming from public funding and 40% from the Royals. The city would provide $600 million, while the state would provide $540 million. The Royals would put up $760 million and cover the cost overruns. The team would pay $1 a year in rent, maintain the city-owned stadium, and provide at least $55 million in community benefits. Lots of numbers there. Those commitments include money for for a baseball museum, housing, public art, park improvements, and other programs. So we'll see.
Well, I guess it's happening. We'll see.
I mean,
a lot of people aren't happy about it.
Yeah, right. So
Tax
is
money.
it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird to me because I know there's, such value in having the Royals and or Chiefs in the state and in each of those cities. But at the same time, they make so much money that it's rough for the taxpayers to have to foot so much of the bill, considering how much those places make.
Right. And then when you go to a game, it's not like, hey, I help pay for this place. Give me a break. You get, it's outrageous.
The ticket prices.
Yeah, you can't even take a family to a game anymore. You got to pay for parking. You got to pay for tickets. You got to pay for any kind of, and to make it fun, you want your kids to be able to get a hot dog and a Coke or whatever,
Right.
And it's just outrageous.
Yeah. So
All right.
I get it. Anyway. Okay, that's all we got for today. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tell a friend about our sponsors and hit them up if you are looking for anything car related. Advanced Car Care Center. If you need a new car, Thompson, Smouse Brothers Foundation and Waterproofing, United Plumbing, Acre Point Roofing and Siding, and of course the Springfield Greene County Park Board. Hit up the trail system, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine, Whole Hog Cafe, Taylor Grubat Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Conditions across the Ozarks today are going to be quite nice. We've got the rain showers from central Missouri moving on out, and it's setting us up for a day of sunshine, and a pretty typical summer afternoon is on deck for us. We've got high temperatures today that are going to climb to near 90 degrees. So the headline is that we're kind of back to normal across the Ozarks. We've got temperatures that are pretty typical for summertime. Morning numbers starting out in the upper 60s, so you can get out early today, get the walk in. It's not too uncomfortable early on. We'll see those much warmer temperatures develop as we head into the afternoon hours, but the mornings and the evenings are at least providing some relief for us here in the Ozarks. So that is the good news. We have rain clearing out and sunshine returning across the Ozarks today. It's going to be a great day to get outdoors. I know many of us are still enjoying these summertime temps. It's another nice pool day for us during the daylight hours at least. But once again, our attention has to turn to some storms that are back in the forecast that are going to return this evening and tonight. Much like the last couple of rounds of storms that we had up in central Missouri, St. Louis area had them 2 nights ago. Some strong storms will be moving in with this batch. There will be some opportunity for the storms to get a bit on the strong side, maybe some wind, maybe some hail, perhaps even some tornadic activity with the storms that are coming through, calling it all modes of severe weather that are going to be possible tonight if all the ingredients come together at the right time. Now, some excessive rainfall is also going to be possible with this batch of storms that moves through the Ozarks. So it's something to keep in mind late this evening into the overnight hours. If you've got an early school day tomorrow, just know that there could be some loud thunder and lightning overnight along with some heavy rainfall. Overall, the weather map setup looks pretty conducive for heavy rain and severe weather, kind of smack dab for the Ozarks. The threat last night was focused up more in central Missouri, and this time it's for the Ozarks and much of the boot heel of the state, stretching all the way back into portions of western Kentucky and portions of Tennessee. There's actually a warm front and an associated low pressure system sitting right back to our west, puts us in a pretty good setup to see some of the stronger storm activity. And the Storm Prediction Center does indeed have us outlined with the severe risk. Basically, it runs along Highway 65 and points to the east, but everybody has at least some threat for a few strong storms. So don't let your guard down tonight. Just make sure you have a way to receive watches and warnings, especially before you go to bed. Around the country, here's what's making headlines. It's severe thunderstorms for much of the Central Plains and the lower Mississippi Valley that are expected tonight. You're going to hear about our storm chance in national news weather headlines. We also have heat making headlines and continuing for much of the country, the Southeast, the Southwest, and heat headlines heading for Puerto Rico too as we head closer to the middle of the week. Those are also going to be some things that you may hear in the national news headlines. All right, it's time for that Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And, the brain twister questions have maybe been a little bit gimmies with so many true false questions in the last couple of days. So I switched it up on you yesterday. And the question was no longer true or false. So the question that I had for you yesterday was about the actual shape of a raindrop. And the options were a teardrop, a sphere, a hamburger bun, or a flat disc. What do you think the shape is when a raindrop falls? Did you have a guess? Was that guess a hamburger bun? It's an unlikely choice, but it is the correct answer. So congrats if C was your guess. Raindrops are kind of the shape of a hamburger bun, flat on the bottom and more spherical on the top as they fall down. That's why oftentimes when you get those big raindrops, they kind of splat. That flat edge is hitting first, and it's in the shape of C, a hamburger bun. Now you know. All right, here's the trivia question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. What is virga? Do you think it is A, type of cloud that produces continuous heavy rain, precipitation that falls from a cloud but evaporates before reaching the ground, a rare form of lightning that appears as floating orbs, or a sudden and intense dust storm caused by thunderstorm downdrafts. If you have a guess, please let me know. You could win $50 to Godfather's Pizza, and it is free to enter. So head on over to the website and play our Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question. Thanks so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather with me this morning. And a big thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Whole Hog Cafe, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Have a great one. I'll be back to chat with you first thing tomorrow morning.